Hey guys, welcome to episode 27 of the Dash Gamer Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Dash, along with my co-host for this evening, the boys who are the Nintendo enthusiasts, the top Nintendo enthusiasts of Australia. It's the House of Marios, Drew Agnew and Bryce Stewart. How are you, boys?
Going pretty well, Dash. Excited to talk all about E3 2021 with you, and I'm sure it will be a good time. We got some nice announcements.
Yes, fantastic announcements from E3 that we're going to be talking about. Obviously, as you boys are the specialists of the Nintendo, we've got a lot to dissect through that. But of course, we're going to be covering a lot more. Hey, how are you doing, Bryce?
I love that cut in. That was great. E3 was bad. I'm a grumpy goblin. Nah. It was fine. It was fun. It was a decent E3 considering it was the first one that has been since the COVID crap. So can't really complain.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it was a unique E3, that's for sure, an all digital front. And you know, the funny thing about E3 is this year, everybody kind of had to adapt or adopt, I should say, Nintendo's format, the direct format, basically, and utilize it for each of their presentations, which is, you know, that's Nintendo showing themselves as pioneers for, you know, digital content, which is incredible. So it's going to be quite the interesting night to talk about E3 and wrap it up, boys. But if you didn't know, this is the Dash Gamer Podcast. It's our bi-weekly gaming podcast where the boys get together and talk about the world of video gaming. Don't forget to follow us over on Anchor, iTunes, and Spotify. I keep calling it iTunes. It's Apple Podcasts. And Spotify, give us those cheeky 5-star ratings. They surely help us out. And also catch the VOD over on dashgamer.com and on YouTube. Subscribe, hit that bell, give us a like, leave us a comment. Surely helps us out. Boys, before we begin, got some housekeeping that I forgot to write down, so I'll quickly just jump over to the website and tell you what we've got. So I wrote up an opinion piece, top 5 reveals over at E3. Operation PlayStation Volume 2, Episode 1 is out right now with my new co-host, Jeremy Braditich. I would love it if you guys head on over and check it out. The launch of the Xbox show with Attack on Geeks, Diana and Tom. If you guys head on over to dashgamer.com right now and check that one out. A Guilty Gear Strive review thanks to the kind folk over at Bandai Namco, as well as Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate and World's End Club. By the time this goes live, our Ratchet and Clank review will be live as well, so make sure you guys should check that one out. Thanks to the kind folk over at PlayStation Australia. But Drew, I'll let you take the helms of this. Any housekeeping?
Well, I'll tell you what, we're a bit behind with our housekeeping, Bryce. I mean, not Bryce. I'm talking to you, Dash. I'm talking to you right now. We're a bit behind with our housekeeping, so I was thinking, since you did such a great job at your housekeeping, I was wondering if I can, like, maybe hire you. Come over, just
of course.
do a bit of a clean up, get some of our content up there, you know what I mean? Just do what you got to do.
It would be my pleasure.
That's as far as housekeeping for us. We did an episode recently all about our thoughts on E3.
Yep.
Straight after it happened, it was 4:00 in the morning for us, and we recorded to about 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And we're still recovering from that. I think Bryce is having some trouble keeping awake. He's squinting at his computer screen.
So the night before, none of us got any sleep. We were supposed to record this Wednesday night. It's Thursday night now. And Bryce is still on 4 hours of sleep from the previous night, and then Drew got sleep last night, thank God, and so did I.
I got sleep.
So we're kind of refreshed a little bit, but it's just it was bonkers. The presentation was so good that the adrenaline was running through us, and we couldn't really sleep that night. So it was fantastic. We're going to talk about that as well.
It's mainly Red Bull and Mother for me, not so much.
yeah, not adrenaline.
just hyped up on that caffeine.
I got my
Sugar
E3 snacks here. I got bacon shapes, and I got 2 energy drinks.
Look at that. He went with the top tier shapes as well. That's the best flavor, man.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Pretty great.
How are you feeling, Bryce? Are you feeling sleepy at all?
Nah, not really sleepy at the moment. The thing is, it's like I've been striving off caffeine for the last few days now, so I'm sort of in that mellow of like, here I go, buzz along a straight line, and I'm like, cool.
How your kidneys going? Because I feel like my kidneys are a bit sore.
Well, not great, I'll be honest.
I'm
starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel it. Yeah. Like I drank an iced drink today, right? Yeah. And as it was all filtering through me, I'm just like ache. I'm like, no, that's not good. Okay, yeah, all right. I need to lay off the caffeine for that.
What? Okay, this is what really frustrates me. Just you're listening to a couple of podcasts that like from America, from wherever that has a better time zone for these things. It's been such a big day. I had to watch it at lunchtime. Oh my god!
Lucky bastards.
Oh no!
What do you mean?
Jesus.
You had the day off to watch E3 and watch it at lunchtime? Jesus Christ!
Yeah, cry me a river.
Poor sods.
Oh, us poor Australians, we got to stay up and watch it late so we can see what WarioWare game we've got coming out in a few months. God,
we're so lucky that we get to watch things in the AMs of the morning when we have like duties to attend to the next day.
No, yeah.
I mean, I would not have it any other way, right? Like,
so the only day I got up early, honestly, for E3 was the first day. I had planned to. I went to bed and I was like, I'll get up at 5 a.m. tomorrow and I'll start off E3 early. But I don't know if I'll do every single day. I didn't. I knew that I wasn't going to. There were a few presentations that I'm glad I slept through, like the Bandai Namco one, which was nothing, and the Koch Media one, which apparently a lot of people were frustrated at. It was almost non-existent.
the good thing about the Koch Media one was they clarified how to say their bloody name.
Koch Media.
Yeah, it's Koch. Everyone's like Coke. I'm like, how is it Coke?
Ryan
Ends with a
Betson can
CH.
suck it, seriously. He is like, no, Dash, it's Coke. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's Koch. I'm like,
I heard a lot of people say that. I'm like, all right, I believe you, but how does it say Coke? I'm looking at
well,
it.
yeah, I guess the CNEH, yeah, it's a weird European thing, but it's Koch.
Koch.
Koch Media.
I don't know.
Koch. Yeah. Kochi.
Koch. I'm like, because we're sitting there like, hey, welcome to our presentation. Let's say your name. Come on, say your company's name.
Jono Petch.
Yeah.
Petchy.
That's right. Petchy. Petchy. There you go, Petchy. If you're listening to this, hope you're having a good day, mate.
Jono.
Looking forward to Trigger Witch. Holy shit. The demo was fun. Demo was great.
Petchy, you better be writing
Petch.
for more video games, Petch.
Petchy.
Boys, let's not waste any more time. Let's dive into the news. So the first bit of news that we're going to be talking about, it's only like a couple of articles. We're going to be recapping, obviously, Xbox and Nintendo. So more Nintendo than Xbox, but I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about, obviously, the effects of Xbox and that'll have on PlayStation as well as Nintendo. So we're going to quickly get through Xbox, and I'll gauge you guys' thoughts, because obviously, being a Nintendo podcast that you guys are, you obviously don't really kind of talk about the other guys as much, but I would like to gauge your thoughts and get your thoughts on Xbox as well. So this first bit of news comes by way of James Berich over at Press Start, who says all of Xbox and Bethesda's E3 2021 announcements. So we covered this on Operation PlayStation and the Xbox show, but obviously with you boys here, I wanted to gauge thoughts. So obviously the big one was Starfield getting a release date for the 11/11/22, and it's being confirmed and exclusive to Xbox. This is not getting a PlayStation 5 release. Bryce, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on? Obviously, you know, it's Xbox had the intention of once they acquired Bethesda, this was going to be exclusive.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing too, right? Though, is that that's where it's really lacking at the moment for Xbox. We all know this. I think like that's been a venerable truth all throughout the Xbox One stage of their life.
Yep.
And it's good to see a game like Starfield sort of land the exclusivity, but unfortunately at the same time we're not sure on anything other than what we've seen of the in-game engine, and like that's what a lot of things were that we in the Xbox presentation. So I guess it is kind of just like cool. I'm glad to hear that it's headed this way, and that looks like a very pretty game.
Yeah.
But I'm not like derailing it, because last time people got excited about something that's been in fucking development hell for a long time, it was Cyberpunk, and now everybody fucking hates that shit.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna ride a hype train. I'm just gonna sit here and wait it out, because knowing what happens to these things that get hyped up far too much, they crash and burn.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
it looks good.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool. I've never been like a massive Bethesda fan necessarily. I tried Doom 2016 when it came out, and it didn't really grab me that much. So now that everything's on Game Pass, I'm very very willing just to go, all right, I'll try that. I'll download that. So I'm keen to try some more Bethesda titles, but Starfield's one of those games where it looks cool. I'll play it because it'll be a part of my subscription.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy just to download it and play the first couple of hours, see if it grips me or not. But
yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm really anticipating this game very much at all. Sort of just like, I hope all of the Bethesda fans get what they want from this game. I'm sure they will. After sort of Bethesda Studios, maybe a bit of a slip up of Fallout 76 and some of these other games, I'm sure them with the backing of Microsoft now will make a pretty great title. But it's good that it's finally got a date. Yeah. I know some games that we've been waiting for a long time didn't get a date. So I'm glad fans of Starfield got one.
Yeah, I'm with you guys on this. It's a pretty game. Don't know much about its premise and what it will entail, essentially, if it's going to just be a copycat of, Bethesda's template and then just brought over to a sci-fi experience, and then afterwards...
Well, they called it a Skyrim in space. So sounds like that's what they're going for.
Yeah, so a template that's copied, pasted, and then brought out of space. Yeah. So
when they say Skyrim in space, it's just like, I know they're saying, oh, it's that game, but it's in a space setting. Yeah. Well, I just imagine like it's Skyrim, but in space, like literally the land of Skyrim in space. There you go. It's the exact same game.
So it did get it did get a release date, 11/11/22. It'll be exciting when it comes out for owners of Xbox and Xbox Game Pass. They'll get it day one, so that's pretty exciting. Moving on to the next one, Halo Infinite got an extended look with a story trailer and a multiplayer reveal. I am not that excited, to be completely honest with you. The hype behind having Halo Infinite in my hands was mainly going to be the fact that I had it at launch. But now that it got delayed and pushed back, I'm not as hyped for it. I'm not anticipating it as much. What are your thoughts on that, Drew?
I'm really looking forward to Halo. I was hoping it was going to be a launch title, something to give us to play on our Xbox Series X that is actually exclusive, but that wasn't the case. That's fine though. If you delay the game, make it as good as it's possibly going to be. This is going to be sticking around for a long time. It's going to be an important game to sell Game Pass, to give you a reason to get an Xbox for the free-to-play multiplayer and stuff. And I was anticipating seeing this game, seeing what they changed, see if they made many improvements. I haven't looked at the footage side by side or anything like that, but it to be honest, it looked all right to me to start off with anyway. I wasn't thinking of Halo as like this big sort of system, I guess, pusher for the hardware.
Yeah, it doesn't sell units,
even though Halo is their biggest franchise and that it maybe should be that for their system, but their angle of free-to-play, that kind of chucks it out the window, just being the graphical powerhouse, because they want it to run on as many things as possible, and it gets to a point where they can't just utilize the series consoles. They've got to utilize weaker PCs. They've got to utilize Xbox One, all of that. So I think that's a good enough trade-off to just have heaps of people playing this.
Yeah.
And I've always been a really casual Halo fan. I know Bryce has gotten more into the lore in that, but for me, it was just at school. We'll load up Halo Custom Edition on our USBs, put them in, and just break our school's networking just through playing Halo on it. And I got into Halo 3 a fair bit as well, multiplayer. But since then, it's been a little bit dark. So I'm really anticipating getting into the multiplayer of this. Hopefully, a lot of our friends and that are playing it, and it'll just be a great sort of social space, because I haven't had an online game like that grip me in a long time. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really happy with what I've saw. So, looking forward to it coming out.
Halo is the series that really got me gripped into anything sci-fi. Yeah. So, that's the thing, is Halo is an important piece of gaming history for me, and like its lineage has always been in my gaming experience, and I've always played every single one as they've come out. And I'm in the same cart as Drew here. Honestly, I don't, it didn't look fantastic and like the true next gen experience or anything.
Yeah, it's not polished for sure.
No, but it is far better off being a game that is accessible to as many people as possible, especially with the addition of Game Pass on PC.
Yep.
You know, the free to play model of the multiplayer is awesome, and you know it's just going to make this whole thing like crazy accessible. I'm glad that they did sort of take, and this is like where things are sort of getting like really big with Xbox and their response to I guess customer complaints and stuff in general, is that they really took it in stride and they went and delayed it knowing that it could harm the launch pretty bad.
Yeah.
It didn't, because scalpers, but
That's right.
you know, we weren't anticipating that at the time either, so it was kind of like a
Pretty much should have, but yeah.
yeah, it should have, but it didn't. But in saying that, you know, like they did it anyway, and then they had the whole, we're thinking about raising the price of gold, and then they got backlash on that, and they were like, okay, all right, we're not going to raise the price, and we're also going to do the PlayStation thing and make free-to-play games actually free-to-play.
Yep.
Which they started reverting their decisions, and it's been like a whole lot of things like that, where I was just like, all right, we need to make our consumers really happy.
Yeah.
And Halo was one of those choices, and it sucks that like I've had to wait so long to play it. But look, that multiplayer looks fun as hell. Like,
Yeah.
it really does. It
Yeah.
it looks great. The new trend in gaming, without any sense of a doubt whatsoever, is grappling hooks. Grappling hooks in every fucking game. Even that the Edo era samurai battle royale that they showed off at E3. I can't remember who was making it, but like there's even a grappling hook in that, and that's because like Sekiro did it so well.
Yeah.
Right.
I
It's
love how everybody pronounces it Sekiro now. Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Bryce. I was going to say my concern about the multiplayer right now is the inertia of it all, of how it might still be the same as last time. Like I'm in this weird space right now where multiplayer games, multiplayer first-person shooters are really just starting to kind of trend that loop of, okay, let's just kind of keep it within the boundaries of what people know now and adapt what makes a battle royale successful as well. There's all these different facets and features that are just being borrowed from each other, and the experience to me now just sits on par with everybody else, and everybody's just doing the same thing now.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are putting Halo in this position because it's such a old, I guess, franchise that, you know, really did start the FPS on consoles, and a lot of people want that experience when they play Halo. Like some of the most hardcore Halo fans just want sprinting out of the game. Yeah, and just because it changes the game so much, just from how fast you are, how quick you can get the weapons, how it changes map design, all of that. So you got one hand, people are saying, oh, we want it just a really basic sort of arena shooter, whereas when they're trying to capture the next generation, going up against Fortnite and Apex Legends, how do they make it seem interesting to them while also trying to keep the Halo fan base playing the game still? And I think they're in a really tricky position because I don't know if any of the sort of groups are happy. Maybe just like the real casual people, like say myself, will be like, yeah, I'll play Halo, why not? But I don't know if that's exactly the type of fan they need to sustain the game either.
No, well, that's the thing, is like it is sort of evolving, and the most popular shooter that we have in the entire industry right now is Fortnite. So that they're like, all right, free to play trend, get a battle pass in there. They're removing red versus blue schematics so that they can have more cosmetics and stuff like that, you know, just to sort of really get it out there and push the button, I guess.
Yeah.
And look, there's as much as we say, you know, like there's trends in shooters and stuff like that these days, I don't think that's ever stopped Halo from uniquely being Halo. Like there has always been something about Halo where it's like, all right, when you jump, you've got that gravity to it, so it puts you out into the open. It could save your ass, but more likely than not, it's going to put you out in the open. Then you've got like the stuff like, I guess like map traversal, like gravity lifts and stuff like that as well. Vehicles in Halo are done better than any other multiplayer, I would argue, which, you know, not a lot of games can say. When you think about vehicles in shooter games, you think back to stuff like when they're in Call of Duty or Battlefield, and they're just needlessly overpowered and kind of annoying to deal with when they're right on top of you all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas in Halo, it feels like it's always felt like the vehicles are pretty well balanced, and if you can't destroy the vehicle, you can most certainly kill the player, right?
Yeah.
It always gives you a lot of wiggle room. So I feel like Halo does a lot of things better than a lot of other shooters do. It does some things weaker, which I'll gladly attest to.
Yeah.
But if there's one thing that's a constant, it's that even if Halo does change in the slightest regards, it will always be Halo, and it'll always feel like Halo. They'll never take away that gravity. They'll always make sure that vehicle balance is really prominent. The map design will always be based around picking up loot throughout the level, as opposed to making a loadout.
Ooh. Could you imagine? That would be so bad if they did that.
Yeah.
Well, they do loadouts these days, but they're not as intrusive as they are in other games, right? Like, loadouts in this game is like, you could start off with a frag or a plasma grenade. Your choice. It really doesn't matter. You get an armor ability. Cool. But 90% of the time, those loadouts will be, you must have a BR because it is a BR game mode, or you will have a sniper because it is a sniper game mode, and like, they'll never change the logistics of that unless they make a unique mode like simply based around having a custom class. Again, it's an arena shooter where you pick up guns off the map. The whole logistic of that should never change about Halo. That should be the core of Halo, and I think it'll do just fine personally. This delay will it has set it back. It's been a little bit damaging for the Series X, and as somebody that has a Series X over a PlayStation 5 right now, like, I can't say I've had a disappointing time with my console, because it's been really good for what it's worth, but not having Halo there feels a bit empty.
Still plenty to play though, isn't there?
Oh, I have too much of a backlog for fucking... I shouldn't be talking. Let's put it that way.
I should be playing. Yeah,
I should be playing.
Boys, we've still got a lot to get through here. Forza Horizon 5 official announced trailer was shown. This is amazing.
Beautiful.
It's again a sequential release. It's a basically consecutive release of Forza Horizon, which is not normally, it's not the norm of the franchise. We get, a sequence that basically, where Forza Motorsport and Horizon kind of swap years. But the Turn 10 have come out and said that they are still working on Motorsport, and they need more time, so it'll be out next year. But Playground Games were ready and were like, we can release Forza Horizon 5, so here it is. And my God, does this look stunning.
Oh, it looks so good. I love these games so much. And with Forza Horizon 3, I remember being like, this game is awesome. I can't see it getting any better. And then with Forza Horizon 4, just like all the new features and stuff they added, like they made it even better again.
Yeah.
And now with 5, I said the exact same thing. And just like they're adding like party modes, like bowling, and you can make your own stuff.
GTA 5 style, they've gone.
Yeah, it looks awesome. And just with like the map of Mexico as well looks really nice to explore, similar to what the UK and Australia were like in the previous games.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for this. And this is definitely one of the cases where, say, like Microsoft's first party support hasn't been great in the last 5 years.
No.
So it hasn't really shone on Game Pass.
No.
But whenever a Horizon game comes out, it's always like, wait, this is free?
Yeah.
Microsoft's giving this to me for free?
Yeah.
And because I would happily pay the $120 for the gold edition or the deluxe edition, whatever they call it.
I agree.
I did that. I did that with Forza Horizon 3. I'm like, I feel great doing that.
Yeah.
But before, it's just like, oh, I'll download it.
You get the option. Yeah.
So it's wicked.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. This is my super hot take, right? I have fucking zero interest in Forza Motorsport.
How dare you?
At all. No, I really don't care for it, at all.
Yeah.
I think Horizon is where the fuck it's at. to be honest.
Oh yeah, no,
Because
sorry, I was getting confused. Of course, yes, I am with you.
Yeah, there's Motorsport and Horizon. Yeah. So Forza Motorsport, really don't give a shit. But Horizon, you know what Horizon does?
What does it do?
Horizon feels that need for Speed games.
Yeah,
a little bit.
No, better than what Need for Speed does these days.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh no, yeah, hands down.
The only thing I miss from Need for Speed is it just doesn't have like the same like arcadey like NOS-based gameplay. That's the only thing it sort of misses. But it's just
arguably I miss Burnout for that, not Need for Speed.
Yeah,
I miss Need for Speed for like when I think back to like Most Wanted and stuff like that. I think about like the cop chases and like all that stuff, whatever. But like for the arcade racing style, Burnout is what I miss for that. But I think that Forza Horizon has while it's not entirely there for the arcade type of thing, but like open world driving and stuff like that. Sometimes I just want to drive, man.
Yes, like it's just an awesome open world game.
Yeah,
it's the best game to do it in.
Yeah, if anything, it encourages you.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
What I really like to do, because there's every game has had like a $5 microtransaction where you can buy the map and it just unlocks everything on your map. So you can go and get the boards and the barn finds and that really easy. I honestly put my $5 in for that and just drive around, collect everything.
Yeah,
I find that just so relaxing. Like, I know it sounds like a really dumb way to spend $5.
No, it's.
I agree. Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I just get your enjoyment out of it the way you want it.
Yeah.
Like, especially now where it's just like, just download it. Download this game that costs us millions of dollars to develop. I'm like, all right, at least you give you $5 to unlock stuff on the map or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Boys, in between some announcements, I don't want to go over all of them because there's a lot that came out of the Xbox One, but I just want to go over some of the major ones. Another major one that was announced was the Outer Worlds 2 sequel. Obviously,
great sick trailer.
Yeah,
great trailer.
Obviously coming from Obsidian, so it's one of those things where obviously the Outer Worlds. I didn't know that the Outer Worlds did that big to warrant a sequel. I know that it was well received. It was critically acclaimed. I think we gave it a 9 out of 10 on Dash Gamer, and when we were still scoring games. And I think it really kind of took what Fallout had been missing for such a long time and reintroduced it to a lot of people with this unique aptly titled Outer World experience. Drew, thoughts?
Yeah, I think just what you said about it not selling enough. Remember, it did launch on the Game Pass, so that would have eaten a decent amount of its sales because, especially with a title that's quite good for like the PC market as well.
Oh yeah, it did too. Yeah.
It did. Yeah. And I think what Microsoft really needs, like they bought a bunch of studios. They got obviously Bethesda titles that have got IP that are beloved by people, but a lot of their new studios, they are going to be making brand new IP. So they need stuff that will bring people to their service. And I think just like a title that is just critically acclaimed, if nothing else, would be just a great sort of way to bring people to Xbox and Game Pass. So I think it was important for that. But obviously with the trailer, they didn't have anything made and they just said, tell you what, let's just make fun of trailers just so we can announce that title.
Yeah,
because
pretty much.
It's basically like, this is what we do when we try to get people to get excited. We put on some exciting music and show a guy running with a gun and all that stuff has nothing to do with the game.
That's what I mean. Like the Outer Worlds trailer, both of them, like even the initial one for the first one, really did give off that Fallout vibe, and it really it did it again. It really gives off that Fallout vibe. Bryce, any thoughts?
It was just a dope trailer. And I think that's all they could say about it, right? Like it was basically like, all right, we're developing it, and look, hey, I haven't played the first one. I really do need to go back and do it, but you know what? I never heard a bad thing about it. The only time, no, that's a lie. The only time I ever heard a bad thing about the Outer Worlds was the Switch version.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah,
shame.
Like I forgot about that.
everything else about it, I heard was super positive, and it is one of those things I intend to go back and play one day. But unfortunately, like I don't know, man. Fallout. Like I think about Fallout, and I think about how it's constantly compared to Fallout, and my last experience with Fallout was 4, and 4 was a little bit sour, and I'm kind of just like, all right, yeah, whatever. I'll kind of just leave it for now. I do want the big open world RPGs doing things like that and all that eventually back in my time again. But right now, well, even up until from launch till now, I just haven't bothered with stuff like that, unless it's been like another playthrough of Zelda because I'm an addict. But
it's all right, man. You know what, man? It's been on my mind, honestly, and I know we're going to talk about Zelda real soon, but yeah, I want to go back and play Breath of the Wild again, man. Seriously, I really need to. Moving on from that, Microsoft Flight Simulator got announced for Xbox, and this is a big one because I've played it. I played it for PC, and man, let me tell you something. This game is so immersive, and I spoke about it on Operation PlayStation this week of how much I enjoyed my initial experience of playing it for review. You know, basically taking off from Melbourne Airport and flying wherever around the world, and you know, going off, making a coffee, coming back, looking and surveying the scenery and going, yep, it looks like a clear flight to Europe today. No problem. That's looking good. Bryce, thoughts?
I have yet to install it on my PC and check it out. But like
Fantastic.
My initial thoughts when it was coming out, I was like, yay.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, obviously we had Jesus. How long has it been since we had the last one?
Oh,
a long time.
It's been
a long
yeah.
time,
It's been a
right?
while.
Like, and looking back at it, I'm kind of just like, oh yeah, I remember that. And I never really paid much attention to it as it was coming out. But the more I look at it, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is really
it's gorgeous.
actually quite good. It's actually quite gorgeous. I do need to play it sometime.
And it was timely during the fact, in the fact that it launched during the pandemic as well.
Yeah. Because now you can actually go places and be like, oh, that's nice. I wish I could go there.
Yeah, Drew.
Oh.
I've been really keen to play it. I haven't played it because I've only got a Windows PC. And
Mediocre PC.
it's all right. So it's just it's a Razer Blade 15. It's not that bad. Fucking
Damn, Bryce, just dropping bombs. Go on, Drew.
bloody hell, fucking dissing my PC over here. Holy shit.
Well, hey, look, it's a few years old now, and what have you done with it?
Oh, fucking.
Have you got a graphics card in it?
Oh yeah, it's a decked out laptop.
Okay.
Decked out laptop. I'm trying. I'm a bit stunned here, everyone. Bryce has just fucking
Just shaming.
insulted my bloody PC. Anyway, yeah, it's a big. It was. I was like, I wanted to play it on there, but it was like a big update and stuff. Like, I can't be bothered. But coming to Xbox, definitely going to try it out. It looks absolutely awesome on the Series X as well. Like it looks unreal.
Yes.
So keen to play it. I hope there's like a really casual mode in there where I can just like fly the plane without having to do every single lever and button, especially on a controller.
Oh yeah.
So hopefully there's just like, I want to go there, accelerate, go up. Yay.
An autopilot mode.
Yeah, hopefully something like that.
Who knows? They might do that for accessibility options and stuff because a lot more people will be getting their hands on it. Obviously, you know, some simulator games can be difficult to play. I had a difficult time playing, what was it, Euro Truck Simulator? Well, that one gave me the shits, and so I kind of, I really kind of had to turn it to the easiest option so that I can just steer the bloody truck. Anyway, Sea of Thieves is getting.
Sorry, Bryce's. I'm just gonna say Bryce's computer. I'm surely that couldn't run the game either, just because he's pretty mediocre PC. Well, isn't that right, Bryce?
Oh yeah.
Boys. Sea of Thieves is getting an expansion, A Pirate's Life, which includes Disney properties. Obviously, the one being Pirates of the Caribbean. I'll be honest, I wasn't really shocked, but it was great to see it, due to the fact that they're involving the Pirates IP within Sea of Thieves now. What were your thoughts, Drew?
My thoughts is who wants to play this thing? All I've done in Sea of Thieves is I downloaded it and I like walked up to the ship and it's like,
yeah, right.
Activate the sail. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. I couldn't. That's all I've done. I'm like, oh, no bug of this.
Can somebody else do it for me?
I didn't have anyone else to play with.
No, fair enough.
When I see this, I'm like, oh, I want a crew of people. I actually want to play this thing. Xbox Game Pass. Anyone can download it who's got it. So anyone out there, or you two, whoever who wants to play this game, because I want to do the
Sorry, Drew. I'm letting
I want to
you
do
down
this.
and tell you now.
All right, Bryce, are you going to join me in this this adventure? Go to the Caribbean? Come on, mate. Come on,
No.
mate. Oh, he's shaking his head.
No.
No.
Oh, is it because I
Listen-
said your PC was mediocre? I'm sure it can run Sea of Thieves. I'm sure.
Here's the thing, right? Is like Sea of Thieves. It never really grabbed me in the first place, and I wanna sound like that dude, but they did dirty by my company.
What?
So
Your company made it.
yeah, I know.
Sea of
but,
Thieves
like,
didn't infect Rare.
No, but that's what I mean. It's like, and like they treated Rare like crap for years.
How
so I
dare you,
never-
Sea of Thieves?
Sea of
Yeah,
Thieves
that's
was Captain
exactly
Jack
right,
Sparrow
yeah.
the whole time.
It was the first
Killed
project they made
Banjo-Kazooie.
where it was like where it was like big, but it really did not fucking touch me at all. I was kind of like, all right, cool. And then like conflicting reports on whether it was actually a decent game or not when it came out and launched. I was like, okay. And then I'm like, all right, well, and even just looking at this, I'm like, huh, that's cool. I'm like, but who the fuck plays Sea of Thieves? I don't know anybody that plays Sea of Thieves at all. Obviously, there's players.
I do,
right?
but
It's got like over 10 million like concurrent players or something, doesn't it?
I'm
something
sure
like
it
that,
does,
yeah.
but I don't fucking know a single one of them. So if it's
know,
got 10 million concurrent players, I'd like to fucking know who's playing it because
I
I,
know,
have
like,
no fucking idea.
Brendan White and that played it a fair bit.
yeah,
A
NATO.
while ago.
Yeah.
NATO and that? Yeah, NATO loved it. I don't
Nope.
know if he's still on it, but
Good for those guys. Yep. But I fucking know nobody
Man,
personally.
jeez.
Not a single. I do not have a single person on my friends list on Xbox that fucking plays it. So,
Bit of Bryce DeWitt tonight.
Well,
I think NATO has a really nice PC that actually runs it though, so that probably
Yeah, it would,
helps.
yeah. Boys, moving on. Among Us got obviously revealed for Game Pass as well. This is huge. Oh God, Bryce, you serious? All right, go on.
Yeah, fucking. No. Him. He's
Oh.
fucking picking on my PC again.
Oh, fair enough. Bryce, what are your thoughts on Among Us coming to Xbox? Game Pass.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a fucking free to play game on mobile anyway. So you're not really missing much. Among
When's
Us is
Candy
fun.
Crush coming?
Oh fucking yeah.
What's going on, Bryce?
Among Us is fun.
Yeah.
Right, it is a good game, but if you don't have a group of friends to play it with, it is a pretty barren experience. I tried to play it like with the matchmaking and all that shit,
Yeah, it's
and like you need voice to play that game effectively.
Yeah.
If you jump in and do a chat game, it'll basically be like somebody hits the emergency button, they'll call it out, and then everybody will just follow like sheep, vote that person out, and then that's it.
Well, I said I alluded to the fact that when Xbox were having discussions with Discord, this could have been why this game would have been the primary reason of those two kind of having conversations of an acquisition. Any thoughts on that, Drew?
Yeah, I mean we've known it's been coming to Game Pass for a while. It's been on Game Pass for PC for a while. I think Bryce is actually able to run that game on his PC. That's the last joke.
Sell your Razer Blade, you asshole. You went and bought a Mac Mini and it's your main PC. Get fucked.
And it works fucking a treat.
Go on, Drew.
Among Us at 20 frames per second.
Oh my god.
And it's good. It's coming. It's good it's coming to PC. Xbox.
I'll skim through a few of these announcements and then we'll get back to one of the major ones. So Fallout 76 is getting 2 expansions. One that'll be available soon. One that's called The Pit. Nobody really cares, to be honest. Like I don't know anybody who's playing that.
No,
Love the pit.
Party Animals.
Where it should be thrown.
Party Animals is another brawler, much like Gang Beasts, which just includes furry characters, which is okay, fair enough.
I said the same thing. I was like, what the fuck?
Hades,
This is just Gang Beast, dude.
Hades is coming to Game Pass. This is a big one.
Wicked.
Yeah. Drew, you would have played it on Switch, yeah?
Yeah, I played it for a few hours. It's really good. I hope everyone gets to play it that doesn't have a Switch on Game Pass. No excuse if you have a subscription to that.
Yeah.
But wicked game.
What was it? Somerville as well looks really good. The creators of some of the original creators of Limbo, developing this title. Bryce, you got any thoughts?
Looks good, and I'm sure it will be. It
Yeah.
generally is.
Yeah.
both Limbo and Inside are very good games.
Yeah.
So
That's all right.
Yeah.
Psychonauts 2 got revealed as well. I mean, look, I'm gonna say right now, I'm not that big of a Double Fine person. I really don't think that Tim Schafer's that great of a games developer or a visionist, to be honest. But there are those who love Psychonauts. I guess congratulations, you're getting a sequel.
It's quirky, and I think that's just the draw of it. I'd like to play it, but I got to go back and play the original first.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it because after just like finishing Ratchet and Clank, I'm like, I want another really fun, pretty looking platformer.
Then play Ratchet and Clank again.
Or give me your PlayStation and I'll play Ratchet and Clank because, to be honest, I do want to play it.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude. Battlefield 2042 got a more of a trailer, I guess, during the presentation as well. You boys looking forward to Battlefield at all?
Yeah, it looks great, but
looks dope.
Yeah, it's really expensive for a multiplayer only game, so it's going to be really interesting how fast that thing comes to EA access before.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. Fuck that.
Yeah.
EA's not getting my money.
Because like with all the things we can play Halo for free, we can play Fortnite, Warzone, Apex Legends for free, complete for free. And then it's like, oh, but Battlefield's $110.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, okay, well, there's Game Pass. EA Pass. I'll just quickly, well, Game Pass and EA Pass are the same thing now, aren't they?
Yeah, but it's not coming to Game
immediately.
Pass.
No,
not immediately.
It'll come to like the most premium tier of EA Access.
Yeah.
I don't know what they call that, but probably come to that.
Replaced is a cyberpunk platformer that will be coming out. It looks alright, actually. I really like kind of the contrast between 3D visuals that it has with the 2D platforming and combat. What were your thoughts on that, Drew?
Yeah, no, it looks awesome. Definitely going to try that one out. It just like that type of art style always catches my eye. Just like with really stylized pixel graphics and just like the shine on the ground, just in like sort of the foreground before it goes to the sprite based stuff. It looks awesome. So regardless of what the gameplay actually is and the story and everything, just the art style gets me straight away.
Bryce?
Yeah, about the same, I'd reckon. Yeah, for the sake of coasting.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Yeah, no, it does look really good, and I'd be keen to give it a go. Yeah, for sure.
Same here. I really like, as a fan of old school gaming, this speaks to me, and as you said, Drew, like it's the way that the light reflections come off, and also it's just so vibrant. I love the cyberpunk aesthetic that it's going for. So, yeah, really excited for that one. Bryce, this one will definitely be for more me and you than Drew. Aiden Chronicle 100 Heroes, pretty much like an Octopath clone more than anything. Yeah. What are your thoughts, Bryce?
I think it looks pretty as fuck.
Yeah. That's as much as I could gauge from it as well.
Well, you say that, Dash, but I'm definitely getting this. Well, on Game Pass.
I mean,
it looks awesome. yeah. I'm definitely getting this. Just got it. Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this a lot.
Did you enjoy Octopath, Drew?
Yeah, like I didn't like play a whole lot of it. That's not the game's fault. That's my fault.
Fair enough.
I basically like played through the demo and absolutely loved it, and then I got the game and I barely touched the game when it came out.
No, fair enough. Yeah.
RPG syncs. That's why.
Exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. They're very much time syncs, so you have to really devote such a magnanimous amount of time towards one. The Ascent is coming to Game Pass day one, which is really cool. Did you guys gauge anything from this though? Because it's a top-down kind of deal. It's not really my kind of style. What do you think, Bryce?
The Ascent. Jesus, I can't remember The Ascent.
I'm trying to remember what it is too. I'm gonna quickly look it up.
You guys might want to quickly Google it, but it's basically it's the top-down shooter. Like the tactical game that's set in like this futuristic metropolis.
Oh yeah.
I'm not really big on these kind of games. I'm not really.
Nah.
Yeah. It doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the thing. It's like there's also Diablo 2 Remastered, which is coming this. Was it this year? I think it's this year.
Yeah.
And some of my friends that's their favorite game ever, right?
Yeah.
That's the most favorite game to them.
I really don't care.
they tried to get me to play it in the past, and I'm just as disinterested as I am now because I know exactly how that game's going to turn out. You're going to get everybody who's like a massive fan of it. They're going to smash through the story. Then they're going to be like, "Oh, dude, this is my favorite game. Come play it." And then that's what they did to me in the past. Is they made me play it, but they wanted me to get to end game, so I got nothing out of it on the journey. And like even just looking at Diablo 2, I was kind of like, yeah, no, pass.
Yeah.
It's something about those top-down perspective games I can't really sink my teeth so far into as to spend the monogamous amount of hours that people want to put into it.
Yeah. Back for Blood is also coming out. A lot of people are really excited for that. I have never really been a big zombie game fan, to be completely honest with you, but I guess there is a market for it. A lot of people love that kind of horror genre.
It's a Left 4 Dead market.
Yeah, exactly. The Left 4 Dead market, yeah.
That's exactly what it is. And I mean, like, it looks fine, and it looks pretty much exactly what you want from a Left 4 Dead co-op. You know, you've got your unique zombies that want to spew on things or, like, snare you and rope you in and, like, all that shit. And, you know, that looks good, and I'm sure it will fill a hole that Gaben will never fill with Left 4 Dead 3.
Yeah.
So, Gaben, either get on your shit now and get Left 4 Dead 3 out, or have it fall into obscurity when clones take over, because that's exactly what's going to happen.
Age of Empires 4 got a trailer, basically. This is one of those that I really didn't expect to see there at this presentation. But I guess cool, but it's not even coming to Game Pass, so it just makes me confused that they would actually include this.
It's on Game Pass PC though, isn't it?
I don't believe so. They didn't include. They didn't. Is it?
Oh,
look, who gives a shit? It's gonna be in your Kellogg's box in the week after it releases, boys. Okay, so who gives a shit? It's gonna be in your Kellogg's box, all right?
Man, that's where I remember playing it for the first time. Yeah. So there was that. Obviously, Bryce, as Bryce mentioned, Diablo as well. Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl.
That looks so good.
That looks good. Bryce, I'll get your thoughts on that one.
Yeah, sure. So the first Stalker game I ever played was picked up from a bargain bin by my grandmother, and I played it. I'm like, this is really cool in concept, but it feels quite old right now. Yep. So I don't think I could actually go back and play this, but I'd be fucking dead keen interested to play this one.
Yeah.
So I think I'll absolutely do it. I love the whole history behind like Chernobyl and like the effects of radiation and like all that bullshit. I was never a big fan of Metroid though, so I couldn't really get behind Metroid. But Stalker had awesome concepts, but I only had a dated game to play. So now that I'm actually getting something that's not quite dated, I'd be very keen to play it.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm keen to play this. I've never played Stalker before, so I'm keen just for a pretty looking game with a nice story, hopefully some good shooting mechanics.
And a big gun.
And a big gun.
That's it, yeah.
And a big gun.
No, fair enough. So 12 Minutes was another one, which is what I'm really excited for, because I love anything to do with time. The fact that you get to play this narrative that of a bloke that's trapped within a time loop, obviously set in one environment, which looks like his apartment. So I'm intrigued. I really want to see what it's about. It has Daisy Ridley, James McAvoy, and Willem Dafoe starring in the game as well. So,
oh wow,
it looks like it's going to be a great game to play. Before I jump into the big reveal at the end, there was also Far Cry 6 extended gameplay, which looks really good. Obviously, a lot of people are excited about that one. You boys excited for that?
Yeah. Nah, not really.
Shredder's got a reveal as well, which was unexpected to be completely honest, but a lot of the people that love their extreme sports will get a big kick out of it. Atomic Heart, which was another Soviet Union game. Russians and zombies. This is the theme of E3.
Yeah, it looked like something. I can't remember what it was now, but at the time I was like, "What the fuck is this? This looks exactly like X game." I can't remember what game. I'll have to look up the tweet.
Yeah, that's all right. But yeah, like it's again, it's another one of an action game that's based in Russia. Cool.
Yeah, they're putting it on Game Pass. We'll try it.
Why not? What was the other one that I was just looking at as well? here it is. The Shroom and Doom expansion pack for Grounded as well. Never played Grounded. What are your thoughts, Drew?
Oh, Grounded's, I haven't played it live. I really want to play it though. I've just got no friends. That's kind of the theme going with this episode. I really want to play these games, but got no one to play with. I reckon it looks really fun. I want to play it. I think I just really want to go against a spider, see if it gives me the EBGBs or not. Because I hate spiders.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone particularly likes spiders.
No,
I can pick up like a smaller one, but when they get bigger, just get that shit out of here. So I don't know how I feel about a massive one in a video game.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll have to put the blob effect on, the arachnophobia mode. But we'll see. We'll see.
Bryce?
Sorry, I was looking up. I called it Cyber Russia 2077, I believe. Sorry, what game were we on to? Sorry.
No, it's alright. Grounded.
Oh, Grounded. Yeah.
Yeah. No, not for me either. And obviously, I want to get your thoughts on Redfall, boys. But before I do, I'll ask you a yes or no question. You guys getting a fridge?
I fucking want a fridge.
I'm going to say yes until they reveal it's too expensive for me.
Yeah. Dude, it's like all these gaming products of actual things are coming out now. Like there was at the FanFest for Final Fantasy XIV, they announced that they're doing a Final Fantasy XIV Stratocaster, and I was like, dude, I'd be so keen to get that. I want that electric guitar, until I figured out that we really got shafted on price, and it was like something fucking stupid, like $3,700 or some bullshit. And I'm like, excuse me? Like a regular Stratocaster is not that much. Like, fuck.
How much is the normal one for context?
I will book
You'll
it
have to
up for
look
you,
that
but
up.
it's definitely not that much.
While Bryce does that, we'll jump into Redfall. Drew, this looked awesome. This looked absolutely awesome. I can't wait to see what Arcane have up their sleeve with this title. I think that, Xbox really do have something on their hands here, but I don't want to... I want to temper my expectations for this title, because... the problem is Xbox really do present titles in a light that, the games look awesome, games are going to be so awesome, and then when we play them, they're just not up to par of what their competitors can bring to the table. So I'm hoping that this is completely different. They proved me wrong in that circumstance, and this game really pushes the envelope and brings out something fantastic. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I hope so, because like I said at the start, I'm not much of a Bethesda fan necessarily.
Yeah.
But what really caught my eye actually, and this is actually kind of frustrating for me, is that like the first Bethesda game where I'm like, that looks awesome, was Deathloop. Deathloop, which is a PlayStation exclusive. So I'm just like, it's not going to be on Game Pass. That's really annoying.
For now. Now.
Yeah, for now, until the year's up or whatever. But
yeah,
like Arcane really sort of stands out to me because of that. I know this is a different team within Arcane, but just like Deathloop looks awesome, and Dishonored was also a few games that I'll probably go back to now that they're a part of Game Pass, play through them.
Yeah.
So just like this title from them interests me as well.
Yeah.
We've only got like a CGI trailer, so really don't know whether I'm interested or not. But of the setting seems interesting. So it seems pretty cool.
Look, I'm interested. I know it's a CGI trailer, but yeah, I'm definitely interested. I'm intrigued by the concept. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Bryce?
Sorry, 2 seconds. I just double checked that price. For the most expensive Stratocaster through Fender itself, it's $4,999. That is like for top grade Eric Johnson 1954 special edition. And the Final Fantasy XIV one is $6,499. So that is $1,500 more than a regular, like a top grade Stratocaster. So no, thank you. Anyway, game. Sorry,
Redfall.
I keep looking things up mid discussion.
That's all right. Redfall.
Redfall looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Somebody said that Arcane is a studio to watch out for, and I mean they kind of have been for a while. Like you think about Dishonored and stuff like that, everybody fucking loved that game.
Yeah.
But Arcane, they're definitely something to look out for in general, and I think Redfall is going to be really good. They're also doing, what's it called at the moment?
Deathloop.
Deathloop.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. That's PlayStation exclusive. So this is basically like Deathloop versus Redfall in the end, right? That's exactly what it's going to be. They'll cross over at some point, and they'll both be on either system probably. Like I don't really doubt that.
Yeah, same.
But
not Redfall. I don't think Redfall is gonna look. Honestly, when it comes to these Bethesda titles, man, that's it. It's over. It's done. The whole idea, the whole concept of Bethesda games going to PlayStation, not happening.
Something that we have known for a while, though, is that when they were talking about the acquisition of Bethesda, and this is like really important to note, but they did very specifically say that they don't want to gatekeep anybody from these games.
That's not their choice anymore.
No, not Bethesda. Phil Spencer said this.
Oh.
He said he doesn't want to gatekeep video gaming, but they do need studios.
Yeah, but right? How he works around that is like, we're not going to gatekeep you. You can play this on your phone with Xbox streaming. You can play it on your Xbox. You can play it on your PC. We're not gatekeeping.
And guess what?
Play it on so many things.
When they eventually announce like Glass or whatever they want, or Game Pass on Switch, you can play it on your Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That's just how it is. Until Xbox find out how they can distribute these games on other platforms such as PlayStation, if they can implement Game Pass, if they somehow miraculously have Game Pass come to PlayStation, Xbox will be more than happy to give PlayStation, some of these titles. But until then, no.
My counter argument is MLB The Show.
Yeah,
I know it's sort of a different situation because MLB were basically like, put it on every fucking platform, right? That's basically what they were like. But if a PlayStation game...
I really don't understand that situation at all, because PlayStation could have easily turned around and said, fuck you, get out.
Yeah, they could have. But anyway, regardless of that fact, it still ended up on Xbox, and it's got a PlayStation logo on it. That tells me enough that it's like, all right, they're willing to at least come together to some degree and be like, all right, we'll operate with you if this is how it's going to be. And like, look, when you think about titles like The Elder Scrolls and stuff like that, like I think Starfield, I think that will remain on Xbox. I think there is things that are going to exclusively remain on Xbox, and it's going to be new IPs mostly. But stuff like Elder Scrolls 6 and Redfall, I could see them doing a trade-off deal of being like, all right, here's Deathloop, here's Redfall, cool, right? That way they're discoverable by both audiences. But stuff like Starfield, that'll remain exclusive. Elder Scrolls 6 will probably be exclusively Xbox for a little bit, and then it will see a move over onto PlayStation where people can play it there. Because if you gatekeep games like that have been within the community for years, you just piss people off. And...
Bryce, I hate to break your heart, but I don't think it's happening, man.
Bryce,
you wouldn't be breaking my heart anyway, because I get to fucking play it. I don't really give a shit.
Like what you're hearing today? Be sure to follow all Dash Gamer podcasts on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify by simply typing dashgamer.com into the search bar of your favorite podcast provider. And don't forget to check out our gaming, anime, and pop culture related news on dashgamer.com. Now, back to the show.
I want to move on from Xbox, boys. Just quickly, between Xbox to Nintendo, there was one thing I wanted to get Bryce's thoughts on real quick, which was Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. This demo was a fucking train wreck from the moment it was announced to the moment I tried downloading it and playing it, and it kept saying it was corrupted, to the moment I played it. And it was just, I love Bandai Namco. I love their games. I love Square Enix. I love Bandai Namco and everything else. But Jesus Christ, was this a train wreck or what?
Chaos.
Yeah, chaos. Yeah,
fucking chaos. Listen, Soulsborne, this has been like leaked for a while, right? And everybody was like, oh, this could be really cool.
I think 3 weeks now,
then they fucked up the main protagonist. And the worst part is like, without delving too far into spoilers, but play Final Fantasy 14, and they have a fucking way better fucking thing for the Warrior of Light there. Trust me, like the original Warrior of Light. I don't know why they turned him into an edge boy. It makes no sense to me whatsoever.
The entire thing is just terrible, though. Like, even it looks so unpolished. It looks...
Yeah.
There was a really funny tweet from the Kaz Hirai CEO Twitter account that said, sorry, guys, the reason it won't run is because PlayStation 5 isn't backwards compatible with PlayStation 3 games.
Yeah.
Because it legit looks like a PlayStation 3 game.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, I don't know I don't know what to fucking tell you. Like... a lot of things about the Square Enix presentation were questionable. Why the fuck were they putting 1 to 6 on Steam and mobile only? Why? Why? If you're gonna do it, why the fuck on those 2 platforms only? Right? Second of all, something that I put on one of Padge's tweets. He was like, that was really disappointing. Square Enix need to pick up their game. I'm like, look, they only needed to announce one thing this year, and I would have been happy. And he's like, what game? I'm like, well, of course, Final Fantasy XIV for Xbox, which you can play up to level 60, and it includes the Heavensward expansion entirely free. So I'm a shill for that game. I'm like just putting it out there. If they put that on everything, I'll be happy. But everything else from Square Enix this year, fucking confusing. Have no idea why they did it. Why they haven't listened to anyone. Which I feel that is the thing here. They haven't fucking listened to anybody. With 16, I can understand why it's not there, and I trust in Yoshida to make that game anyway because he made 14, and 14's a fucking great game.
Yeah.
And well, A Realm Reborn, but let's not polish the knob here. That's
one way of the knobs you like, mate.
Right. So I trust him to make that game, and the reason it wasn't there is because it's not up to his scruff yet, and he'll make sure that game is good. I promise you, he's a fucking good developer. But what they might as well have just called it off and left it to Bandai to announce and deal with, and just not fucking been there because they just piss people off.
Yeah. Boys, we're going to jump over to Nintendo now, which I'll start by stating that I believe they won E3 this year, to be completely honest with some of these announcements, that's for sure. And I'm not saying that because you guys are here, but I'm actually saying it because I actually tweeted it. I actually said Nintendo have won E3. I'm once again going to skim through some of the more announcements, some of the stuff that are like we really wouldn't care about anyway. And yay, like okay, Just Dance 2022 is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Oh fuck yes!
So Just Dance 2022 coming to Nintendo Switch. Super Monkey Ball is celebrating its 20th anniversary with a brand new game. Banana Mania is called.
Have fun cleaning that audio. Sorry.
2 Point Campus. Got a trailer as well. You boys really care about 2 Point Hospital? No, neither do I. Astria Ascending. I don't know. I don't know anything if it's a franchise or anything about. I've never heard of it. Like it must be brand new.
Looks cool. Coming to Xbox Game Pass. I'll play it there.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Worms Rumble. Okay.
I got it for free on PlayStation. Haven't played it.
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is coming to Switch. That was so Marvel kind of took over the Square Enix presentation completely. This game, I am not interested in whatsoever.
I really like the IP. Like I like Guardians of the Galaxy, but the fact that it took so much of the fucking, that's what I mean. They might as well have just not been there.
Drew?
Most of the presentation was that game.
Yeah. I pre-ordered it after the presentation. I really quite liked it.
Shill.
Oh, I'm such a shill. It's mainly because of like E3 hype and that. Usually I don't pre-order games, but I was like, I pre-ordered like a couple of other things for like Scarlet Nexus and that coming out next week. So I'm like, I'll put in some other $10 deposits, and I put in one for Guardians of the Galaxy on PS5, and I'm like, you know what, like the sort of combat doesn't look like amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but I really it really kind of hooked me just with like the banter and that you expect from the Guardians, and I like how you can do different decisions and stuff, how they implement sort of the telltale mechanic in there. So I'm like, you know what, I'll give this a go. If reviews come out before the game and it's really bad, I'm like, all right, I'll pull my pre-order, but this caught my eye. But with the Nintendo side of things, when they shown it during the Direct, it's like, oh my god, how the hell is this on Switch? And then I only found out afterwards that it was the Cloud Edition.
And I think also they're using the footage that they used was assets from other consoles, to be honest, because they didn't clarify whether it was running on Switch.
Yeah, well, it's running on the cloud version. I assume that it will look the same if you can actually get it to run well.
Yeah.
But with all the hype of watching the Direct in person, sort of like, I don't know if they had a disclaimer at the bottom saying cloud version. Jamie Penning said he watched like the European version and that it did clarify it was the cloud version, but I don't know. I didn't
in NOA.
Yeah, I don't know if it did, because like at very least they should say playable on cloud. Because if more games are coming to like the cloud sort of service of playing on Switch, then like we're going to be starting guessing like, oh, is this native or not? If they're not going to actually be telling us, because that matters a lot. Because even if they did come here, I wouldn't want to play it via the cloud. Like no way. But they don't even come to Australia, so we can't even play it anyway. But yeah, I thought that was probably the worst thing of the actual direct. Just be like, just call it Guardians of the Galaxy Cloud Edition or whatever.
Edition,
because
it's a little bit more clear about it. Fatal Frame is jumping from the Wii U to the Switch. That's really cool because a lot of people did not play that on the Wii U.
One thing about that too, it's actually coming to Xbox and PlayStation as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I found that out afterwards. Oh, that's really weird because Nintendo's had the publishing rights for for the whole series.
I'll
pretty
play
much,
it on
I think.
PlayStation. There you go.
Yeah, I probably will too.
Doom Eternal is finally getting the Ancient Gods, which is already out on other platforms. I would advise you guys play it on other platforms, not the Switch. I'm sorry, but it's just the truth.
Oh, Dash, come on, mate.
It's just the truth. Look, Doom is fine, but it just doesn't. It's not up to scratch on the Switch.
Dash, I want to play
Especially
it at 30
Doom
frames. I don't want to play it with the new Xbox Series X patch.
How dare you?
That'll be. I don't want to play it at that type of fidelity.
Same thing with Strange Brigade. I just really don't care about this game at all, and I think it looks terrible. So, thanks, Strange Brigade. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 is hitting Nintendo Switch. This is a good announcement. Drew?
Yeah, I haven't played it yet, so I might play it on Switch, I might not. It's really cheap on other platforms, so I don't know.
Bryce?
I'll buy it again. Fuck it.
So
I rated it a 10.
So we do have a question from your community, actually, that came through from Wacko Jacko in regards to this game. I want you guys to be honest. What were your thoughts on Tony Hawk's PS1 2 coming to Switch? I'm kind of hype, despite the lower frame rate. Drew?
Jacko.
Or Bryce, whichever. Go ahead.
Jacko, I wrote a review on it, buddy.
You did?
Go read the review. It's
Wow.
on dashgamer.com.
Yeah, you did.
All right.
Yeah.
Seriously, fantastic game.
Yeah. Lower frame rate, though, does it bother you? Think that'll affect?
No. Fuck. I played Tony Hawk. I played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater in fucking the late 90s in that shit. I don't care at all. Nah. Not in the slightest. It is a 10 out of 10 remake. It does everything a remake should. And it incorporates things that come from later entry points in the series that make Tony Hawk's arcade gaming style great. Plus a soundtrack that's mostly 100% true to form. Yeah. So play it; it's good.
Fair enough.
Good to hear, Wacko.
Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is getting an expansion. I'll be honest, I actually liked Age of Calamity. I thought it was way better than the original Hyrule Warriors. I know that it had some performance issues. Obviously, it kind of hitched and glitched a little bit more than it should have. But the content of the game was definitely something that I really resonated with, obviously being so big on Breath of the Wild. Drew, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've got a lot more of the game to play. I haven't finished it yet, so
okay.
An expansion pass isn't on my radar at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to playing it. It's one of those games, honestly, with all of these Switch Pro rumors flying around recently, it's just, I'm like, wow, that game would really benefit from just like beefed up hardware. So maybe I'll wait a bit. But now it's gotten to the point now. It's like, all right, we're past E3 now. Maybe not. So I want to play it soon.
Price?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's like with the original Hyrule Warriors, I think what gripped me with that game was that it was in its sort of own universe. And as much as I like the continuation of story of Age of Calamity, it's hanging on the hinges of like Breath of the Wild 2 is on the horizon, and I'm kind of like, I'm saving my Breath of the Wild experience for that game. I have played through a generous enough amount of it, but I still haven't finished it, and I intend to finish it because it is story context, but I kind of want to do it while I'm like dumb hyped but not thinking we're when I'm dry on Breath of the Wild 2 information,
Nah,
because
fair
obviously trailer this E3, yeah.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Speaking of the Pro, Jamie Penning writes in with a question as well. He says, were you also fooled by the intro graphic to the Monkey Ball as something Donkey Kong related? Because I was. I bet a lot of people were too, because it just showed a whole bunch of bananas there. But in terms of the Pro, he says, also, do you think that this presentation will temper the, quote, Pro rumors or inflame them, as some, quote, high-fidelity looking titles seem to be coming next year? I'll start with you, Bryce.
Okay, the Monkey Ball thing, I was fooled until I read 20th Anniversary that I was like, it's not Donkey Kong. Yeah. And then, for the Switch Pro, I talked about this on our show that we did immediately after, but there is something about the fidelity of that final shot in the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, when in comparison to an actual in-game engine shot of Breath of the Wild 1, it looks clearer. Like, there's less of a layer of fog. There seems to be a tiny bit more detail, stuff like that. And, it seems to be running perfectly fine. So I feel like this is on enhanced hardware. We know it's coming, right? Yeah. So if they could show it in the best it possibly can be, then it's could
just be running on PC.
It could be. That's the thing, is like, don't tell Nintendo I told you this, but you can play it on PC and you can play it at 4K at 120 FPS with no faults whatsoever, right? So it looks really good, right? And I'm more than sure that they're probably using the same emulator that people are using to play Breath of the Wild 1 and making it look really good.
Let's just borrow that open source emulator.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, let's just borrow that open source emulator and let's replicate that, shall we? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, other than that, I think it's highly possible. There's definitely a lot of high fidelity stuff, but obviously with I think Guardians of the Galaxy probably would have been the game that would have been like, that's not a cloud version, that has to be on harder hardware, right?
Yeah,
but it is a cloud version, so
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been thinking about this since the Direct sort of ended, and like the games we got this year. Before like we get into them, like this, we've got a 2D Metroid WarioWare, Advance Wars remake. Like it's a lot of like stuff we would expect from a Nintendo handheld if they did have the two options available still.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be the games to push hardware, and Breath of the Wild sequel is still probably late next year, if not pushed again.
Yeah.
So that might not be the game to be pushing the Switch Pro if it's not ready in time, because it doesn't line up correct enough. So with all the rumors going around, obviously the rumors of before E3 were incorrect. But the rumors about, well, they weren't even rumors, they're just information. Nintendo's signed a contract to just get a heap of LCD screens.
Yeah.
Like that's happening. And so whether they're getting them and like storing them, or we are actually getting a system put together later this year, don't know. But they could be still holding something. Looking at November, it's only Pokemon Shin Megami Tensei 5. There's no like big game from Nintendo themselves.
Yeah.
And whether they're just happy with Pokemon being there, which is fair enough, I guess. But I think there could be something, whether it is something from Nintendo EPD, the Donkey Kong game, another Mario game. Don't know what it could possibly be, but they might be holding something to like really line up with a Switch Pro. But I think it's all interesting to talk about, but I think just for everyone's sanity, let's just talk about stuff we know about, stuff we can play right now, because I think it is fun to sort of speculate on this type of stuff, but I think I'm done for a little bit, unless like some like real tangible bit of information comes out which we need to discuss.
Well, let's talk about stuff that we still can't play. Advance Wars 1 and 2 is getting a reboot, or actually a remaster, I should say. That's cool. I was a big fan of Advance Wars when it first came out. The Wars series as well. Like, just the entire series was really, really cool as a kid. Loved it. Yeah, Drew, thoughts on Advance Wars coming to Switch?
That's cool. I'm definitely going to play it. It's made by mainly WayForward.
Yep.
Collaborating with Nintendo, so looking forward to playing it. The only thing I'm sort of wondering about, it's a full price game, so it's $80.
Yeah, and
like comparing that to like Wargroove, which I don't know if it's going to be like Wargroove has like a a campaign you can play together, just like without actually being online at the same time. You can all take your turn whenever you want throughout the day and do that. You can make your own levels, make your own campaigns. Like there's so much to that game. That's a $20 game.
Yep.
So how's Nintendo going to justify an $80 price tag on this one? I know it's 2 games put into one.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I don't think they can, to be completely honest. I don't
think they can either.
Yeah. Yeah, and as Bryce just said it right there, nostalgia. This is what's going to sell the game, nostalgia. People are going to buy it because they know Advance Wars, and that's about it. I'm also in the belief that the title itself, as cool as it is to have Advance Wars back, it's just that nostalgia factor is going to fade fast because the experience of it. I remember playing Advance Wars. It's simple, and we have a lot more games these days that just give better experiences than that. So
yeah, I'm concerned about the price mainly because I want this series to stick around. It's got a lot of fans. People have been wanting it for a long time. But $80 price tag, you're not going to get the non Advance Wars fan to buy it necessarily.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I'll buy it because I want to check it out. I want to talk about it on the podcast, do this type of thing. This is what we do. We cover Nintendo, so I will be getting it. But for like an $80 price tag where it's like, I really want to play this kind of game, but it's a bit much. And there's Wargroove here that's gotten great reviews and is similar. It's like an ode to this series.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a bit much of an ask personally, but it's great that this series is back. There's so many people on my timeline on Twitter who are really happy that it's back, and I never thought Advance Wars would be back. To be honest, I thought it would be lost sort of to the DS era, but it's here.
Yeah. Let's do a little bit more skimming. So Mario Golf Super Rush, we know that's coming out soon, but they added a trailer there, so that's cool. Monsters Hunter. Not just like Monsters. Monster Hunter Stories too.
Monsters.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, cool, Monsters. Yeah, fair enough. That's coming out in July. Thumbs up. I really don't care about it. Danganronpa is hitting the Switch, which is really cool. Another RPG for people to sink their teeth into. The series is awesome. So,
I was surprised because I swore Danganronpa was already on Switch. I'm like, wait.
Nope,
I swore it was.
No, it's on Vita. It's been on Vita and PC.
Yeah, it came out first on Vita. I remember like everyone was raving about it back in the day.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a spin-off one that came out on the Switch?
I can't remember. I don't know. Maybe
something girls. Hold on.
I'll let you Google that one. Dragon Ball Kakarot is also coming to Switch, which is really cool. Awesome RPG. Cruising Blast is obviously in the lineage of like Cruising USA and Cruising World. Even got an awesome theme song with it to go with the trailer, which is really cool. I can't remember what else. And now The Legend of Zelda is also getting a Game & Watch.
Yep, I pre-ordered that bad boy.
Same.
Today. Yep.
Yeah.
I really didn't want to. Like my the Mario one I got, I've still got it in its box. Like,
same.
So with the Zelda one, it'd be like, all right, cool. I got my $80 box. Put it next to the other $80 box. Cool.
It's on the shelf.
Aren't I cool?
Closed cupboard door.
Yep. Hopefully I can sell it to some sucker Nintendo fan in a few years for double the price.
Yes, scalping for the win.
Yeah.
Life is Strange is coming to Switch. This has been one that I've been waiting for a long time. I would have thought that this game.
Dash, I can talk to someone who likes it. That's
yeah. So I
don't hate it. Jesus.
Life is Strange is awesome. I love the initial title. I'm not a fan of the sequels. I'll put it that way. I hope that Colors or True Colors is going to be just as good. I don't have high hopes though. I'm keeping my expectations tempered on that one as well. But the initial Life is Strange is getting the remaster and landing on Switch. Put it in my veins.
Yeah,
straight in my veins. How about you, Drew?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm glad like people that only have a Switch can play it.
Yes.
So yeah,
I'm definitely excited.
Please play it if you haven't played it.
Bryce, play
Life is Strange.
Kazuya Mishima is joining Super Smash Brothers as well. Really cool that a lot of the moveset, he retains a lot of the moveset from Tekken over to Smash Brothers, just as they did with like Street Fighter characters and everything else. I'm really hyped for that one. I really love the way that they did that trailer as well. A lot of people expected it to be a Zelda announcement almost immediately as soon as they saw dead Ganondorf. They were like,
It looks like Super Smash Brothers from the very start.
yeah.
Bloody hell.
But yeah, it's a cool little addition, I guess. Are you guys still playing Smash?
Oh yeah, bloody hell! What do you think we are?
I'm only asking because I like honestly I don't know anybody.
I'm a bit
who is.
offended. Yeah, you bloody asked me that. No, of course I'm playing Smash.
Bryce, you obviously still playing Smash, yeah?
Yeah, I pick it up every now and then to have a few fights and then turn off. I do. I want to have one of those. I want to like break my leg or something just so I can like play Smash for like 6 weeks or something. Just like really get.
Oh, I can help you with that, mate. I've got a bull bar in my car.
Please don't. I think the coolest thing about this announcement, personally, about it is more to the fact that when you win a fight, you get the original Tekken announcement saying,
Yeah.
Kazuya Mishima wins.
Yeah, that's so cool. And the
You're like,
music
yes.
as well.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
includes
yeah,
some
absolutely.
Music, yeah. Mario Cross Rabbids got a sequel announced at the Ubisoft event, but also included here. Mario, it was also leaked the day before. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope is kind of like a galaxy inspired sequel to the original. I like how they've kind of modified the grid based almost XCOM like title that they originally had. Now it's a little more freeform. Yeah, what are your thoughts? I'll start with you, Bryce.
Congratulations, everybody! You got Mario Galaxy 3.
This is not Mario
Hooray!
3.
Hooray! It's Mario Galaxy 3. Yay!
No, we
Well,
want
hey,
Mario.
they're in space. They're in space. They have Rosalina, kinda.
Yeah,
works,
I love
right?
that. I love Rabbit Rosalina.
Um,
She's so adorable.
This is like I kind of just want to give like a nice old shout out to David Soliani. Good job, dude. I'm glad that you managed to inspire enough hope to get a sequel out.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It does look cool. It really does. I think it reminds me of like one of the Neptunia games and how it operates. So I know exactly what it's going to play like. It looks dope. I really need to play the first one. I bought it for $15 and still haven't played it yet.
Okay.
But I will get to it. It is a very characteristic. I hate rabbits. I hate rabbits so much. But some of the stuff that I hear about this game, like, the first game is fantastic. And plus, it's got great Kirkhope music in it. So why the fuck haven't I played it yet? But yeah, I'm sure it'd be fantastic.
Awesome. Drew?
Yeah, I mean, definitely pick it up straight away and play through it. I didn't get to the end of Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle either.
Yeah.
Mainly because like I love the aesthetic. I got nothing against Rabbids and obviously love Mario. I think they did an amazing job with it. It's just like that is not my type of game. Just that type of gameplay. So it is like something I've really got to push through, similar to Fire Emblem and stuff. Like I love like everything around it. I just don't quite like how it plays. But I'll definitely give this a go again. I'll make sure I played Kingdom Battle beforehand too.
Mario Party Superstars pretty much is an amalgamation of the most popular Mario Party maps coming to Nintendo Switch Remastered. That's cool. I, like as somebody who grew up as well with Mario Party, the original trilogy, I guess. Basically, I never really went past that until like the Wii came out with Mario Party 9. But Mario Party to have some of the old school maps in it to replay them again really kind of tickles that nostalgia bone. But I don't know whether it's enough for me to want to pick this up and play. Any thoughts on that, Bryce?
This is divisive between me and Drew because he's just like, I really don't give a fuck. But I'm like, this looks better than the other one, and I didn't buy the other one, so I'll buy this one probably.
Fair enough.
The thing is like, the last one was so underpackaged, and everything didn't really come out till later, like online play stuff that should have been there, straight up, right? Yeah. But this version looks fine. It looks great, and I'll consider picking this one up personally. Yeah, since it is a full package now.
True, you want to elaborate on not giving a fuck?
Oh, just Super Mario Party. It was just, yeah, really. Yeah. And without online play, like I really didn't play it that much. Yeah, I didn't get my bang for my buck. And
well, it's implemented now, but I think it's a little too late.
Yeah, like if people saying if like our friend group and that they're like saying, oh, that's Mario Party, so much fun. I'm playing it every night. Drew, come on. Like, oh, okay, I'll buy it. Like I'll buy it pretty easily, but. until that happens, I just don't think I'll play it that much.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my gaming is by myself. So
Yeah.
Mario Party's not the game for that.
I'm with you, man. Yeah, it really needed that online early, especially during the pandemic. I don't really understand how they could have not done that during the height of the pandemic. It would have made a lot more sense, but there you go.
They probably lost their key to the server room knowing Nintendo. Bloody hell. Like, oh, fuck, how do we get in here? They haven't updated it. That's why this update came so late. They're like, oh, finally, we got the fireman in. He bust down the door. Quick, put in the update for Super Mario Party. It's freaking 2 years late.
This is the one that I don't give a fuck about, but a lot of people are very excited for. And I really, really don't understand why. I've never really understood the allure behind this. What? You know which one I'm talking about?
You watch your fucking mouth here, Dash. What are you going to say, mate?
WarioWare.
Oh, you bastard! Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
WarioWare. I hate it.
Oh, no. Fucking, let's get out of here, Bryce.
You're playing video games wrong then, man.
WarioWare smooth moves can kiss my ass.
No.
Oh,
my God.
Bryce, can you fucking... You hear the bloody nerve this man has on.
Words.
He says, House of Mario Boys, do you want to come on to the Dash Gamer podcast? And he has the nerve to say,
smooth moves sucks.
Don't give a fuck.
Listen, no fucking cap, right? We had Drew's bachelor party, and I brought the Wii U over with smooth moves, and we played that shit.
Oh god!
Like there was two things that were played: Mario Golf 64 and WarioWare smooth moves.
Terrible.
Those are the two things that were played.
Terrible.
So
should have just
you
stuck
fucking
with the first title.
No. You need to work on your form baton skills.
You do.
That's your problem.
I will admit there are I really love the tutorials on that game. The tutorial. Well, yeah, the tutorials and how they used to kind of come up in a very zen and just what was it the
umbrella.
The umbrella. Hold your baton above your head. Yeah, that was great. All those were great, but I don't know, man. I never really found it fun. I never really found it engaging. It was a party game and it was obvious, and for me it was like, okay, am I gonna just turn on smooth moves for the sake of turning on smooth moves? No. And it's gonna be the same with Get It Together. I'm not just gonna play it.
I will.
For the I just can't.
Just get it together, Dash. That's what you need to do. Get it together and play some WarioWare.
Man, you guys are too excited for that one. So that one
well, I got to be honest, boys. I had a real emotional flare there. Dash, I'd like to apologise.
That's right.
But who I've really got to apologise to is my wife. I woke up my wife at the moment. She's pretty grumpy with me, so. But I think that was worth it. I just had to really.
September. Shut up, Drew. September. It comes out on September 10th. Moving on to the next one. So we're going to discuss the next two in a little more detail. So the first one we'll discuss is Metroid Dread. This one it finally got unveiled after almost 17 years in what I like to put development hell, basically because it was supposed to be out for the Nintendo DS back in 2004, or unveiled in 2004, and then we didn't hear anything about it, and then it came up again. Rumors started circulating, oh hey, there's a demo that's circulating Nintendo right now. Didn't hear anything about that again. We're finally getting the concept in form of a game, finally. I'll start with you, Bryce. What are your thoughts on Metroid Dread finally?
It looks dope.
Oh, yeah.
It looks really good. Here's the thing is there's still a lot of Metroid I got to go back and play, right? Yep. And there's something that's always been a constant in Metroid, and that is that the unknown is scary, right?
Yep.
And that is kind of how it is. But you've never, apart from maybe Dark Samus, but Dark Samus is sort of like a looming, I guess, threat, right?
Yeah.
These fucking robots, man. Getting chased by one of those things looks fucking terrifying. Yeah. I'm gonna have to fucking sprint for my life. I love that. I love that for this. And I it's definitely gonna get me to play it. I like 2D Metroid's fine enough. I'm one of those people that actually really enjoyed Other M and the concepts that it brought. I thought that was awesome. It wasn't really a 2D Metroid, but it was played more or less like an exploratory Metroid as opposed to a 3D, a first-person shooter, right? So the exploratory Metroids are cool, and I love them. And I played a little bit of Samus Returns, haven't made it all the way through. Love that too. I love the changes they made. They're bringing a lot of changes they've done from Samus Returns to this. And I think just being a carry-on and being like a sequel to the main line as opposed to like the Prime, it's awesome. First time in a very, 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 very long time that's happened. Samus is a good character, and I like the character of Samus, and I love the world around Metroid. It's cool to see something that's different.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, it's always been about, like, the bioendemic life, or the space pirates, or, you know, the Chozo, or what have you. I think this is probably the first time that they've actually put machines in and made them such a looming threat. At least personally from what I've seen. So I'm very keen for this.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Sure.
Yeah, I pretty much just echo what Bryce said. Just looking forward to it. Metroid's probably one of my bigger sort of pages that I'm missing from my Nintendo handbook. Okay. So I definitely need to catch up on some of these 2D Metroid games. And from like the bit of Samus Returns that I played, I really did enjoy that too. Just coming out on the 3DS, I sort of like lost interest just with Switch stuff that was happening at the same time. So yeah, I'm happy that this has finally come to Switch. And I will be playing it when it comes out.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, having, you know, some years on you boys, I was like, when I was a kid, I used to love playing the original Metroid on my Famicom, and man, those games used to scare the crap out of me playing. Like, it was just some of the design choices made in those. It wasn't a game that was designed for kids. I'll put it that way. And the funny thing is, because games back then kind of had that, you know, it kind of had that label that video games were kids' toys, you know, it was really the only audience that were playing it. And even then, I kind of, like, I just loved it. I loved the design, I loved the aesthetic, everything about Metroid. I loved the map and how you kind of traverse, you know, you had to repeat some areas as well. I really did love at the time, they didn't describe it as Metroidvania, but I really did love the concept of a Metroidvania title back as a kid. It was more puzzling than anything. So to kind of have Dread come out, I'm really intrigued to see what kind of design, in terms of like mapping and everything else, how they're going to structure it, and see, you know, if they keep it true to form, or whether it's going to have a progressive system in terms of, you know, the map layout of Metroid. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to see what Dread actually brings to the table. And, you know, obviously it's coming out this year, which is just fucking insane. Like, oh, here's Metroid Dread and it's coming out this year. What the fuck?
Just a few months, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get the amiibos or limited collector's edition or anything like that?
Both.
I missed out on the amiibo because they went so quick. I can't believe how
Amazon
quickly
still
they
had
went.
them up for a while.
Yeah.
Oh well, you can buy mine for triple the price.
See, my theory with this game is that a lot of these assets that were currently being used are what they were going to use internally for Metroid Prime 4.
Mm.
I think that's what they were going to do, and then they realized, wait, we don't have a team that specializes in first-person shooters. Like, oh fuck. Okay, so they went back to retro, and they're like, all right, you guys handle it. It's like, we've got stuff here. We're going to use this stuff for Metroid Prime 5.
Yeah.
Metroid 5, rather.
Yeah.
And we'll work off that. And so that's what they've sort of gone with. I feel like I don't feel like both of these games were sort of in development in-house at the same time. I think this is a sort of a split decision.
Yeah.
They were like, Samus Returns was pretty well received. I'm pretty sure we could do that again for Switch. And then, yeah, they went off that.
Yeah.
So...
No, fantastic.
I think that's good.
It's
good for Metroid. And hey, look, it's the perfect platform for Metroid to be making a good return to, because it gives it a lot more open space for people to, and it's being sold in a good time frame too.
Yeah.
Like, not too far out of Christmas.
Yeah.
Which means that more people could pick up Metroid off of this. And like, Metroid is a series that deserves recognition. Like, It does. So let's hope that this does a lot of things for Metroid.
I hope it sells well, because otherwise we won't see another one for a long time.
Exactly.
No.
F-Zero. Oh man, when Kazuya threw Captain Falcon off the cliff, everybody was like, "No,
It's already dead."
Boys, let's talk about the big one.
Oh, no, I don't really care about this.
Terrible way to start. The Untitled sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This is the trailer that everybody wanted, and everybody was just, I was frothing when, I'll be honest, part of me was like, don't disappoint me, Anuma. Do not turn around and tease me with this shit that you're coming up. Oh, it's in development again. No, show me something.
Especially where he's like, here's Skyward Sword. But all right, Skyward Sword. You showed us this before.
We know what Skyward Sword is.
Like, it's like, oh, here's a Game & Watch. Like, you said you wouldn't have hardware at this direct. You lying bastard, Anuma. Eh? But then he actually brought out the goods, so thank God for that.
Yeah. So let's start off with general thoughts on this trailer. Drew, I'll start with you. I want to gauge first your thoughts on where they may be going with this title from what we can gauge off the presentation.
I don't really know about just the actual direction. Obviously, we learned a lot in this sort of trailer.
Do you have any theories?
Look, I'm not like the one to bring all the theories. This is definitely Bryce's realm, where he's just like, all right, I reckon this is happening. So we'll chuck it over to Bryce. He's tweaking his nipples in excitement.
He's really excited to talk about it. Go on, Bryce.
I'm okay. So when we were doing our show and we were watching it live or whatever, we Drew said, "This is why they're doing Skyward Sword first." I'm like, So I went into a pretty in-depth theory, and I went frame by frame through the trailer, and we talked about it on the podcast, right? Yeah. And I'd already done my own theorization on the trailer before. In the trailer before, I was like, okay, there's going to be a top layer, which is going to be Hyrule as regular, might have changed a bit, whatever. But then there's going to be an underground layer, right?
Okay.
And instead of shrines, you're just going to have that whole underground layer to explore. It did that, but it went for the sky instead of the underground, at least for what we know so far, right? So, I am fairly certain, in a TLDR fashion, that the Zonai, which is the tribe that is spoken about in the game but never really explored, the Zonai were the remaining people in Skyloft.
Yep.
That happened after the drop of the statue of Hylia in Skyward Sword. And Zonai stayed in Skyloft, tried to migrate to the ground at some point, failed, and the Sky Islands have been now re-revealed from the sky. I mean, Ganondorf's pushing up fucking castles.
Yeah.
And that's if it is Ganondorf, might be Demise. Because if you think about things dropping to the ground, you think about, the statue of the goddess. You think about Demise. I have a feeling that this is some Demisey-wisey bullshit.
Yeah. A lot of people are theorizing that Demise has involvement within this title, and why wouldn't it? Skyloft, it's obvious that Skyloft is there. That is Skyloft. There is no ifs or buts about it. Unless they come up with some bizarre introduction to another Sky World or something. But that would be terrible, because Zelda lore is Zelda lore. We want to keep it intact, and they want to say, oh, that's Skyloft, but if you recall, when you drop down from Skyloft to Hyrule, or I think it was Hyrule, basically, the ground level in Skyward Sword, it was different to what Breath of the Wild is. So how the hell is Skyloft manifesting over Breath of the Wild's Hyrule?
Yeah, and one thing I was thinking just before as well, the opening shot of Link falling above the clouds.
Yep.
So where's he falling from? Because that's a lot higher than the the sort of
Skyloft.
clouds we see above Hyrule.
Yep.
So there could be like an even higher part than that they're falling from. So they might actually be returning to the Skyloft in the game.
Something to take like big comparisons from with this trailer, and I pointed this out, but the when he does the water drip thing, goes through the ground, comes up, in one of these Skyloft little pieces, if we'll call them for now.
Yep.
He does it right over the Thunder Plains, right? Right next to the Thunder Plains is the chasm. Where is the biggest statue of the goddess in Breath of the Wild?
There,
yeah.
It's in the chasm.
Yeah.
So what that pretty much tells me is that's where it's fallen from, right? And the chasm is pretty. It would make sense.
Oh shit! Hold on a second. I think I know what you're saying. Do you reckon that chasm's being lifted?
Yeah. Well, let's put it. No.
Oh, sorry.
Not quite.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way, right? Okay. When that fell,
yeah,
it's believed that is where they were taking a basis, because Zelda and Link on the surface, they were like, all right, let's try cultivate Hyrule. That's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
That statue fell with them, so that statue is where presumably they created the first temple. Right. As such, that's where the Temple of Time is.
Okay.
It is the biggest statue. Obviously, the biggest prominent thing in Skyloft before it fell was the statue of the goddess. They made a huge deal of it. That's where the Master Sword was stored, was in the temple underneath that.
Yep.
So basically, what has happened is like it has just gone through the time and wearing, and it has been forgotten. But that is where the biggest thing is, right?
Yeah.
There is something very conspicuous about that shot of them overlooming that very particular spot in the trailer. Because there is the Thunder Plains and you can see the chasm, right? And the angle it's at would technically be where in the underground there would be the statue of the goddess in that Temple of Time. And you're going around the skies, like Drew said, it was like way above the skies on that first drop.
Yeah.
You don't know where that's from, whether there's like something up there that's to be taken note of, like the original Skyloft or something was up there, like without obviously the statue. If that is directly above, by any sense of measure, if that is directly above the chasm, it would explain a lot, but we don't know that yet. With obviously, what we think is what we've always originally thought was Ganondorf underneath Hyrule Castle. It might actually not be Ganondorf; it might be Demise.
That would be huge, but like
because he lifts the castle, man.
But the features don't look like Demise. That's the thing. The features that are on this dehydrated Ganondorf look like Ganondorf.
Yeah, but Demise looks like Ganondorf. He still has like all the features.
He doesn't have Gerudo features.
Yeah, he does.
Well, doesn't have
he has
the
a
red
big
hair.
fucking nose. Yes, he does. He absolutely does.
Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Ganondorf
Demise.
has looked different as well throughout the ages, so it's not.
That's right. Yeah, it's never conclusive. And then the other thing to keep in mind is that he is a reincarnation of Demise. That's not to say that anything could happen into where he could actually reach the point where he's like, shit, I'm as powerful as Demise, because that's absolutely what could happen, right?
Yeah.
So we've got to consider that if he can push a castle up, he can definitely bring things down from the sky.
Yeah, you're right. It could definitely be Demise.
And the release of Skyward Sword kind of lines up with that.
Just one other thing I've been thinking while you've been talking.
Yeah.
Like being Demise, how would it be? Like obviously it was Ganon in the first game, but you're taking down like a really fucked up version of him. Would that make sense still with him as the main baddie, or like having Demise be there the whole time?
No, it'd still make sense, because we have to remember that Ganondorf is a manifestation of Demise. He is a reincarnation of Demise. And if Link can be as powerful as his other iterations, if Zelda can be as powerful as our other iterations, what's to say that Ganondorf can't?
Boys, I
Yep.
just want to kind of deviate from this theory and kind of go with one that I was thinking of before it kind of got mentioned by somebody else, I guess. But this one comes by way of Jason Juicale over at Game Informer, who says, Breath of the Wild 2 fan theory suggests we can play as Ganondorf. Now,
Oh, okay.
we play as Ganondorf. Now, this is something that I kind of thought of when I saw the trailer first, when I first kind of saw Link kind of coming down from the skies in this weird garb that kind of had like one shoulder off and one shoulder one shoulder off, one shoulder on, and was wearing the green tunic there. Half green tunic and half kind of like this dress kind of deal. I don't know what was going on there. But anyway, so the article says, we all knew that the minute more Breath of the Wild 2 footage was shown, the community would take to YouTube to unearth all the little secrets hidden in the latest trailer. And of course, those trailer breakdowns did happen. Moreover, all of the interesting theories out there, one has soared above the rest because of how downright compelling it is, and what will actually be playing as Ganondorf if we'll actually be playing Ganondorf the whole time in Breath of the Wild 2. Now, I'll quickly summarize it, the rest of this. Basically, Barrett Courtney from Kind of Funny and Tim Geddes had a breakdown of the trailer, and Courtney suggested that the Link that's falling from the sky is actually Ganondorf, or the dehydrated form of Ganondorf prior. Because of the arm that Link has. And the theory that he's going on is that, and it connects with Demise as well. So what's happening is when this version of Link actually takes hold of the Master Sword to unveil Demise, he gets turned into Ganondorf. However, this has been kind of debunked in terms of the Gerudo theory and everything else. But the concept of it is intriguing. The fact that Link one generation's Link, because obviously we know that the story of Link kind of recycles over and over again. One iteration of Link could have been Ganondorf beforehand, and then like there's that suggestion that they don't want to unveil the title of the game or the subtitle of the game because it could give away something as big as this.
Right.
It's an insane theory. I know it's out of this world that they could even think of that or anything, but I don't know, man. It's like that's a juicy theory, and that's something that I was even thinking when I first saw this trailer. So, Bryce,
Certainly.
I'll ask you first. What do you think of that, and then we'll head to Drew.
The thing is that falls in line with the tapestry theory, right?
Right.
The tapestry theory was that Ganondorf was in this iteration at least the original chosen hero for the tapestry's timeline, I suppose, and like where it sort of falls in terms of Guardians and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that, you know, he sort of went on and whatever. My own formulated theory for this was, is that was the case. The original Ganondorf, like at this is when the first trailer was all we had to go off of, but now it's completely flipped everything up. But my original theory was that he was, but he tried to do something in his stead and was a practicer of magic.
Right.
So he tried to seal the Dark Beast within himself, failed, and that's when Link picked up the sword and the lineage went through, right?
Yeah.
That was just based on some tapestry stuff that sort of happened and like analyzing it, and sort of yeah, it's kind of a thing. It's plausible, and I think it's definitely something to think about.
Yeah.
But there's definitely something pertinent to the fact that when he's in the sky, you always see him in those clothes, and then when he's on the land in sections, you see him in his regular tunic.
Yeah.
Right? There has to be something towards that. Whether that is pertinent to anything, I'm not entirely sure, but something to really take note of when you're thinking about that is that you're looking at the puddle and then him going from the land to the sky.
Yeah.
In that garb as well, kind of tells me that garb is not mutually exclusive to the sky. Because if he is going from the ground to the sky with that garb on, means that he's definitely able to walk around as that on the ground. And then splitting like the sections up and being like, hey, look, this is whatever. Maybe it's just tied to the land, like just like Kid Link is tied to Adult Link in Ocarina of Time, in which, like, depending on the disposition of the Master Sword or whatever, you'll end up in different scenarios. But like for this, it's like depending on where you sit in terms of land structure will determine what form you take, because you're either like going back in time or whatever. Not really sure, but I think it's probably too quick to say, hey, you might be playing as Ganondorf, because to be completely honest with you, I don't think that'd ever happen.
Sure.
I don't think.
One interesting thing that I saw pointed out today as well is that in the trailer you never actually see Link's face.
Yep.
No.
So like they are kind of hiding something. I don't know if that's just by circumstance. I doubt it. These trailers are very like meticulously
I think they are,
through and put together. So I think there might be something to that too. Like after the events of what happened in the first trailer we see, where stuff goes to shit when they're adventuring underground, there might be something like something changed. Whether it is like an ability of Link's that is given away on his face, or Ganondorf taking over a bit of his body. Maybe that's like Ganon's arm and it's done something to his face, giving him tattoos or something.
Like infected him in a way, because that arm is deformed.
Yeah, you can see like long fingernails on it, looking gross. Obviously, like the skin color and the and like the metal.
It's mutated in a way
that
that looks very what's the race? The one Midna.
Twilly.
That's it. Yeah. Very much like that. So like, there's so many theories that is coming out of this trailer. It's insane right now, and I'm so excited. Like obviously we got to wait till 2022. Thankfully we actually got a window, and I recall back to 2019 Dash Culture E3 special. Bryce called it. Like we were like, nah, this game will be out like in a couple of years or so. Not gonna wait that long. Bryce called it 2022. So. Yeah, man.
Did he say the year, did he?
Yeah, 2022.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, he called it. Yeah, Bryce, any closing thoughts on it?
Yeah, one closing thought about the missing face thing.
Yep.
In the research that I've done over the meticulous amount that I've done over the first trailer and now the second trailer, I really want to, for homework if you haven't, I want to point back to the Making the Hero book.
All right.
In the Making of the Hero book, they had already talked about they had heaps of designs that they never got to use for Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
In Making of the Hero, this definitely alludes to a lot of what they're going to be doing with that arm, for sure. But on top of that as well, it's also seen in some shots with him having a mask of some kind that's Guardian pertainant.
Oh, right.
So it is possible that, for whatever reason, and maybe that something's also latched to his face as well as his arm.
Wow.
And that changes things. Again, look into Making a Hero. It'll, you'll definitely see a few things and you'll be like, huh, well, that could be it. But look into it.
It's exciting. Like seems like they're changing like a lot. Like,
yeah.
What you might expect from a sequel, I think they're going like above and beyond of what you might expect. Just like not just like a rehashed map or anything like that. Like new abilities will completely change the way to play the game, and it's always been a bit of a risk because if they are using the same Hyrule, most of the just the thrill of Breath of the Wild was stepping into the wilderness and not knowing where anything was, what to do, being vulnerable to everything.
Yeah.
But if they didn't add too much new stuff to the sequel, then it would have just been like, oh, well, I know where the Master Sword is. I know where the castle is. I know where all this stuff is. So you just sort of know where to go.
Yeah.
But it seems like just with a completely new tool set, it's going to be the same again. Just being like, what do I do? Where do I go? And oh my God, those bokoblins have big horns now. Jesus Christ.
I can't wait because, like I said, Breath of the Wild is my favorite out of all of them. I know a lot of people will argue that, weapon degradation. Well, get Crimey River. Seriously, weapon degradation is the least of your worries of that game. But it's honestly the most immersive Zelda title I've ever played. And I can't wait to get back into that world, especially, you know, with all these different theories that have come out, and like all the trailers are just, the trailers are so much of a tease, and it just makes me froth. So I can't wait. Guys, if you didn't know, this has been the Dash Gamer Podcast. It's our bi-weekly gaming podcast where the boys get together and talk about the latest in the world of video gaming. Don't forget to follow Mr. Drew Agnew over at iDrewby. You can follow Mr. Bryce DeWitt at IVRevan. You can follow the boys together at the House of Mario. You can follow myself at Dash Gamer. Don't forget to follow the show over on SoundCloud, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Give us those cheeky 5-star ratings, they surely help us out. And also catch the VOD over on dashgamer.com and on YouTube. Subscribe, hit that bell, give us a like, leave us a comment, it surely helps us out. Dash Gamer Podcast will be back later this year in August. I was just discussing with Drew before the show. Drew's coming back on board, which is awesome. We're gonna, like I said, we're just on a bit of a break from the show at the moment, just to kind of see where and what we want to do with it. But it's pretty much going to be the same format when we come back. It's just a refresher period. That's all it's basically going to be. But guys, I want to say thank you so much for joining me for the last couple of hours. It's been awesome to talk about Nintendo and Xbox. So thank you guys so much for that. I really appreciate your time. And I really want to get you guys back on together again when when we're closer to Zelda's release date as well, because I believe that we can probably sit here for another couple of hours and dissect it even more, because by then we'll probably know a lot more about the game and its campaign. So
Zelda was half the reason I didn't sleep.
Yeah, man, it's so good.
Just saying. Like I could not stop thinking about it.
I'm pretty sure that's the reason that we all didn't sleep that night. Drew, agree?
Yeah, well, I was trying to break down that WarioWare fanfic, actually. Just it was intriguing as hell.
Guys, we'll see you in August, but make sure you catch us over on the House of Mario and on Operation PlayStation. But until then, stay safe, take care of each other, and wash them hands. Can't believe I'm still saying it. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Wash your hands. Bye-bye.
dashgamer.com